Hey friends, welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be making a tag flip, and off camera I just went ahead and put on the trims and have assembled the tags. I'm not 100% happy with the placement of them, so I might end up like moving some, like this one could go in the back if I change my mind. So I'm just going to start decorating them and then I'll do the placement last. That'll probably be the last thing that I do. But I just wanted to show you what I've done so far. So these are the tags and what they look like. So I've pretty much stitched on either all of them or added some sort of trim. So this is the first one. It's also the biggest, so that's why I had it in the front. And I didn't punch the holes close enough to the top, so it's kind of like hard to flip. So I might get a bigger binding ring at the end if I need to. Like if it gets really chunky, then I might do that. So this was a pre-made tag that I got from Target. So this is from the Snowflake collection. This is from Merry Days. All of the trims that you're going to see are from Hobby Lobby. And then I use mostly gold stitching on all of them. Oops, sorry. This paper is from Merry Days as well. And the back is cute. This one is from Merry Days as well. This one was just a scrap piece of paper. Almost all of these were scraps, which it always feels really good when you can use up your scraps. So I just cut them down and then went off of the sides. This is my cat. Just here to say hello. And then this is a trim that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then I just cut the bottom of it to make it look like a banner. And then you can't really tell, but it's actually stitched on there, which I think is better than using like tape or something, because it wouldn't have, it would have showed through the underneath it. So this is a shaker that Kayla Crafts made for me. I'm going to link her down below so you guys can check her out. I love this sequin mix so much, and I definitely wanted to use this in the tag flip, and I thought I didn't really have that many interactive elements going on, so I just wanted to put that in there. And then I think I might move it more close to the front whenever everything is done. This one is just one that I stitched around, and then this is the last one. Whenever I was stitching this one, I accidentally cut through the back, so I ended up having to use like a scrap piece of paper and add this on the side. But I think it's actually kind of cute. I like the way that it turned out. So my only concern is like trying to find stuff that will match, because this is from Snowflake and this is from Merry Days, and they're like very different colors. So I'm just hoping that I will be able to find something that matches. So yeah, so this is the base of my tag flip. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and start decorating. I'm also going to zoom you guys in just a little bit, because I know how it is. It's sometimes very hard to see when people are working on things. So hopefully that is good on that. And yeah, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go ahead and start decorating. Okay, so pretty much I just started decorating in the order that you guys saw them in the first clip. So I started with this bigger one first, and as always, whenever you make the first tag or like first embellishment, it just kind of takes you a minute to get used to everything, and I just kind of pulled everything out of the collection and started playing with it a little bit to see what would look good. I knew that I wanted to use some of the Snowflake ephemera on this one since the paper matched, so I was just kind of looking for something that went with the color scheme, and this really cute black type of list ephemera stood out to me first, so I just put that one on there, and then I found another small tag to kind of match it, and I felt like it tied in the colors really well, so I just added in a little bit of this string that I got from, I think somebody might have sent me this, I'm not 100% sure. And then as always, I added in a few staples just because I love the way that it looks. And I also thought about adding this paper clip. I can't remember if I stuck with it or not. I think that I might have done it on a different tag instead, because I end up going with more of a silver theme on this one since it didn't have any gold on it. And you'll see me use these a lot. So they're just basically little sparkly enamel dots, but I've had them forever in my stash, so I've just been trying to use them up. So on each tag I try to use some, and I'm almost completely used up the sheet, so that's definitely a good feeling. And I'm out of frame for this little bit, but basically all I'm doing is just adding in some cheesecloth behind this. This I got from Hobby Lobby around Halloween time, and it's been super fun to use in my projects. I love the different texture that it gives, and I use it all the time. I also went back and bought some, like I bought a bigger pack of it that's a little bit more white. This one is more off-white, so I thought it matched the collection a little bit better, but you'll see me use the other one in a lot of my other videos as well. So once I finished doing that, and what I did was I just used some foam dots to prop up the second tag to give it a little bit more dimension. And then I added in this cute little coffee coffee cup that's from the Merry Days chipboard collection, and then I went back to my little enamel dots and added in some of these at the top and at the bottom, and I really liked the way that it looked. I thought it was super cute. I just felt like the only thing that it was missing was like some sort of phrase, but I think I ended up just not adding anything on there just because it already had some words, so I didn't want it to be too busy. So now we're moving on to the second tag, which is this one. This one ended up being my favorite one. So I was worried about the colors, but in this little sweater, there's actually red and that kind of softer green color. So I thought it looked really cute together. So I knew I wanted to use that, and then I was just trying to find some pieces to layer behind it. So I grabbed this ephemera from the Snowflake. It says warm and cozy, and I just turned it on its side so that way I could have the leaves peeking through. And I think a lot of people are scared to cover up something that has words on it or has like a certain sentiment on the inside, but I would say like just play around with it, and if it's something that you really love and you don't want to cover up, then like just save it for something special that you can use. But in this case, it didn't really matter to me that much that I covered it up, so I was actually able to use it better because I was able to use it as a layering piece. So I laid that one down, and I just did that one with some double-sided tape. Then I used this really cute rosette that was sent to me by Kayla from Kayla Crafts. She sent me a bunch of these gorgeous rosettes that are made with vellum and like some pink stitching. So it saves me a step because I don't have to make anything like that, and I already have them in my stash. So I just put that one on and then added in all of the ephemera on top. And you'll see a close-up look at the end. I ended up using that one as the cover. So moving on to the next tag, I did struggle with this one just a little bit because it was such a small tag, and everything that I was trying out on the top of it was just too big, and I was trying to find something that was small enough to where it wouldn't take up so much room. I did try out this piece, which I really did like. I probably would have went with this one just because I like the way that the pinks look together. So I thought about using that one, but I don't end up using it on this tag specifically. I used it on a different one. So once I kept going through my stash, I found this really cute little tiny postal stamp, and I was like, this is a perfect one to use because it matched all the colors, had a little bit of glitter, and it was really small. So then I just kind of went through and was trying to find some stuff to layer up behind it, and I really like the idea of having some snowflakes going on in the back. So I found this first snowflake, which is kind of like a muted brown color, and I believe that it's from the Snow and Cocoa collection. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I just kind of combined all of my stuff into one box, so it's kind of like a mix of things. But yeah, that snowflake I believe is from Snow and Cocoa, and then the second one is from Merry Days, and I really like the way that those ones look together, and that it added a little bit of black because I'm going to be putting a black sentiment at the bottom, so I just wanted there to be a little pop of black somewhere to tie everything in together. So I stapled those snowflakes on and then hot glued them to the back. Then I just used some chipboard that I had left over to prop up the postal stamp, and then added these silver enamel dots. And then I think at the end I end up adding the sentiment, I believe. I know that I put one on there, I'm just not sure when. So yeah, that's what that one looked like. And now I'm moving on to my next one, which I thought this one would be really hard to make as well. All of the ones that I thought I was going to struggle with were actually the ones that I excelled at. Like, I really liked the way that they turned out. So it just goes to show that there's never really a reason to be nervous. Just try something new and you can always figure it out. Just be creative. So I knew that I wanted to have like a larger piece to kind of cover up the busy background, and I really liked the way that this craft colored one looked. And I also knew that I wanted to use that chipboard piece on there because I like the way that the reds all look together. So I added some cheesecloth behind that chipboard piece and then put it on top of this little layering piece from the Snow and Cocoa collection. And I haven't glued anything down yet. I'm still trying to like play with everything and see how I want it to look. So I also hadn't used any of these little shaker pieces yet, so I thought it would be good to use it on this one. So I put that little car at the bottom, and then I put some foam on the back of the chipboard just so that way when it sits on top of the car, everything is still like flat and it's not wobbly or anything. So I really like the way that it's turning out, and then I just added on this really cute paper clip. Then I grabbed some gold tulle, and I cut around the ephemera piece so that way it would be a perfect square, or I guess rectangle in this case, and it would just be kind of peeking through the very edges of the layering piece. And I really liked the way that it turned out. I wasn't sure about it at first, that's why I didn't glue it down right away, but after I had cut it to the the size that it was, I thought it looked really great. So that's when I just used some tape and then I hot glue everything down together. And I really like the way this one turned out. And I've really been enjoying adding like paper clips to my projects just because it kind of is like a texture thing but also a color thing too. I have like a lot of different colored paper clips, so the rose gold paper clips that I have, I think they're actually from Dollar Tree. They look super cute with the snowflake collection, and then those bigger gold ones I got from Tuesday Morning. And I just like adding like the different colored paper clips on different projects depending on the colors. And yeah, it's just been something that I have really liked doing. I try not to go too overboard with it, so I think I only did like 2 or 3 on this project, which that might be overboard for some people. I get it. That's a lot of paper clips, but yeah, I didn't want to do one like on every single tag. So for this one, I kind of struggled for a little while. You can see I'm like trying out all kinds of different pieces. I end up going with this one. At this point, I had also run out of things that matched that green color on the tag. So I was trying to find something that would work with the color without clashing with it. So you can see I'm like trying some of this craft colored, and then like the lighter pinks I thought looked good. I didn't really have anything that matched the gold in the trim either. So that was another thing that I was kind of having trouble with. So I think at the end I just end up going with these 2 pieces, which I was still kind of like about because the white on the ephemera is so much brighter than the white on the tag. But I think once it was finished, it looked really good. And then I went to my chipboard from the Merry Days collection. I was trying to use it up, so I just grabbed this little leafy piece and put that behind the tag. And off camera, I'm just hot gluing everything down so that way it'll be super sturdy since it's going to be kind of heavy. Then I also propped up the round tag on some foam dots or some chipboard or something, and then hot glued that down as well. And then I forgot to add in the string before I hot glued it down, so I just ended up cutting this part out of the video footage so that way it wouldn't take forever, because it actually took me a really long time to try to get it all in there. So yeah, I added that on there and I thought that looked really cute. And then I went back to my enamel dots that I was trying to use up and then just put them originally on the tag, and then I moved them down to the bottom because I didn't like the way that they looked on the tag. So after it was done, I thought it looked really cute and it turned out well. So this one I think was another one of my favorites. I was almost debating on whether or not to make this one the cover, but I found like the perfect piece that matched both the trim and the paper really well, and I just love when that happens. Like, I didn't even have that in mind, but when I pulled out this little nutcracker card thing, I just thought it was so perfect because it matched all of the colors in the collection. So I wanted to make that the focal piece, and then I didn't really know how to go about layering anything behind it because it was already sort of a layering piece. So I immediately, you can see me thinking here, I pulled out this little sticker that was round, and I was thinking about all of the round elements that I have, and I thought maybe making some sort of like little gallery with all of these. They kind of look like ornaments, so that's kind of what I was trying to do here. I layered up all these round pieces and I made them at different depths, I guess you could say. Like some of them are higher, have more foam behind them, and then some of them are more flat. So I did that, and I thought it actually turned out really cool. I've never done this before, so this was something that I will probably need to practice before doing it again. Or this was my first time doing it, but maybe I should have practiced before doing it because I was kind of getting a little stumped with the placement of everything. As you can see, I like move stuff around a lot, and then I go back and even add some more. Like this snowflake piece, after I had glued everything down, I was like, oh my gosh, this would have been great. So maybe like having everything that you want to use like that, like in front of you before placing it down, and definitely like kind of viewing it before you start gluing would be my biggest tip for that. So if I were to do it again, that's probably what I would do, but I think it still turned out really well nonetheless. I really like the way that it looks. So yeah, and then I also added another paper clip here. Like I said, a lot of paper clips, but we don't have to talk about it. So yeah, so I'm moving on to this little shaker, and I kind of already knew what I wanted to do because this was the very last little piece that I had from the Merry Days what is it called, like thicker sheet with the gold foiling. So I just put that one on there and it actually fit perfectly. I didn't have to fiddle with it too much, and I really liked the way that it looked. So that was going to be going in the middle of the tag, and this is my very last one. And I think at this point I just wanted, like, I was doing so much on all of the other tags, I just wanted something more simple. So I just pulled out this piece, and I really like the way that the pinks matched from the trim and the color on the actual ephemera piece. So just to give it a little bit of some edge, I added some gold trim, and then I put a sticker behind it that's a stocking from the Merry Days collection, and then I just glued it down after I layered it up. You can see I was also trying to use my chipboard. I got that idea from Rachel from Paper Ventures. She uses all of her chipboard as and like instead of foam tape, like she uses it to layer and give dimension. So I got that idea from her, and I really enjoyed it because I feel like I'm using up everything that I have. And this is what all of the tags look like once they're laid out. So yeah, I was just kind of like figuring out the placement and stuff and trying them out on this small little binding ring that I had. You'll see at the end whenever I show you each tag that I did end up going to a bigger ring just because it really wasn't working on the one that I had. So yeah, I just wanted to show you a full view of all of the tags, and I will be back at the end to show you how everything turned out. So this is how the finished tag flip turned out. Sorry if the lighting changed for the video. The sun actually went down while I was in the process of making this, so I apologize for that. Hopefully it didn't affect it too much, but this is how it turned out after I arranged everything. I also added some tassels on the top. They're pretty much just trim, and I left it really loose so that way she could untie it if she needed to, but basically there's just some tulle, there's some white pom-pom trim, some gold rickrack, and then this was sent to me by Kayla Crafts as well, and it's super cute. It's a little snowflake charm, and then I added a red tassel to it from this little set that somebody sent me, and yeah, I think it turned out really cute, and they all tie together. So the one on top is my favorite. That's why I ended up making it the cover. This was the one I thought I would have the most problems with, because since I like cut the tag, I had to like put a banner on it, but I think it turned out really cute. You're also probably going to notice that some of the eyelets came off, and that's just because whenever I transferred the ring from a small one to a larger one, the eyelets were not staying on, holding up as well, so I just had to take some of them off. I try to do my best without damaging paper, but some of them look a little worse than others. But yes, this is the first one, and I really like it. Love this one as well, with some really cool circles on there, and this one that matches the paper and the trim perfectly. There's this one that's more of like a silvery kind of theme on there. This is the really cute shaker that Kayla made me. I love this one too. Lots of layering. I did end up decorating this one. I don't think I showed it in the video, but I just added a little sentiment to the middle of the Christmas tree, and then added a little gold bauble to the star. Thought it was really cute. I added a little button on this one while I was off camera. And this is the last one. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much, as always, for those of you who like, comment, and subscribe. It means so much to me, and I'm really thankful for your support. If you guys want to see more pictures of this on my Instagram, then make sure to follow me over there. I will link it below in the description box. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.